Hi, everybody. RivkaLeah here. I am thrilled to be able to present this podcast in the ever-growing series From Darkness to Radiance with my collective. So with me today, I have all of my fabulous team that helps me in every aspect of the collective. Some of them you have met already in previous podcasts, and there is one with me today who you have not met, and you will be meeting very, very soon. So I'm going to introduce everybody, and then I am going to have everybody talk to you shortly. But I wanted to remind everybody through the RivkaLeah Collective, I am called to speak with survivors of trauma and help people come through their journey, or if they've already gone through their journey, from darkness into radiance. And everybody within the collective has had some sort of trauma from all areas of life, and we've all come together to help support each other. So with that said, I'm going to introduce everybody and then have people start talking. So I have Marissa and Nesto, I have Papa, and I have Alethea. So welcome everybody, and thank you all for being part of the collective and being with me here today.
Hello, and thank you for having us.
Absolutely. So let's start with Marissa and Nesto. How are you guys doing tonight?
We're doing awesome.
Very good.
Awesome. Well, thank you again. I look forward to every day speaking to everybody here. But you guys really, really help the collective a lot. And why don't you share with everybody a little bit of what you do? Because I know you don't work just with me, you have your own collective. Mm-hmm. And why don't you share that with everybody? What your vision is and how we've come to be?
Well, for you specifically, from the very first moment that we spoke about this, that we wanted to create the safest of spaces for anyone to feel seen, heard, and accepted. And so that was a very specific and delicate balance between allowing people to be safe, but yet to show them what's not acceptable. And so when I started first creating this with you, I always felt like, okay, one of my parameters was if it kind of makes me a little bit uncomfortable to really acknowledge the type of trauma somebody has been through and it really hits me, I know that I need to talk about it. And that's when we would go back and forth and discuss, this is where we want this brand to go. And this is where we want to be able to kind of carve out our own niche in healing and be able to present something a little different for survivors. And I know when we started, though, that there's been quite a big evolution within the last 7-8 months, because originally you were really envisioning helping female survivors of dark personalities. But there's so many different representations of trauma, and it wouldn't be right to exclude any of them. And I'm so glad that we've evolved our skill set and our scope of who we want to help. And it's very different than what we do with other clients or business partners. We're just talking about that we cannot use the word clients anymore because we don't have any. And so we've got to get rid of that out of our own vocabulary. But each of our brands, business partners that we work with, need something a little different, but yet our platform and our structure and the way we do it is always the same. And so it's been really interesting for us that we're having these different companies come to us and align with Grit and King, and each of them are trying to serve somebody different and help in a different purpose in the world, but yet it all seems to fit with those same puzzle pieces. And it's so cool to us. It's so interesting. So we do different things, even though we are business partners, that I'm more the person that somebody talks to on a daily basis. I'm the one that's developing the brand with them and setting up the long-term timeline and our goals. And then Nesto gets a chance to be the one that understands things that technically I do. I've gone to school for them. I know how to do them. It's kind of like algebra class. I got through it. but I'm okay never using algebra again.
I'm with
I
you.
see, the client side, as in I know absolutely what I need to know when it comes to, okay, this isn't working for one of our business partners. What do we do? Or we need to fix this because we're going to have other business partners that have the same problem. So that's the balance between us.
Yeah, Marissa's definitely the face of the franchise, and I just work in the background.
That's not true. That's not true at all.
Well, as a partner, I have to say that's not true. Work with both of you.
Not at all.
No, so basically, I do the technical stuff. Building the funnels, creating the memberships, doing all the stuff in the CRM that really creates the foundation for getting you off the ground with your classes and everything else.
Even building out
Yes.
the software that each of our business partners use.
Right.
That's all his side.
There's so many things. I mean, there's email campaigns. There's the software that we use for you to get your clients and keep track of all your contact list and everything. So that's in a nutshell. I work in the background. I do a lot of stuff with Marissa on the front end as well, but I'm more comfortable in the back, and I just let her do her thing. And it's been working out wonderfully. I wouldn't have it any other way. So we balance each other out very well.
I am very thankful for both of you. And just as a little more background, so as Marissa said, when I started the collective, I was focusing mainly on female survivors of trauma. Obviously, being a female myself, and it was never to exclude anybody, but I needed to start small in my comfort zone. But I very quickly realized that I was called to help a much larger community of individuals. And with that, everybody that I have been talking to is either still on their journey or has come through their journey and is building something that they have been called to do. And each of us here has done that. And each of us here has helped one another in one way or the other. So with that, I'm going to move on to Papa, who has been very, very helpful to me. So welcome again, Papa. And why don't you explain a little bit to everybody and how truly amazing you have been to me?
Well,
Papa doesn't take
for the kind words. But the word collective to me is truly the perfect word to describe what this group has. I looked up the word consortium, and consortium is close, but that has a heavy a business connotation. And that means that you're all collected to drive a business a certain direction. And that doesn't fit this collective. The word Ernesto used in a recent post called tribe. Tribe fits the collective as well. And that's because I'm not very technically savvy. However, I am observant. And I've been privileged to watch this going on a year pretty soon of the genesis of this company and where it is today. And it's nothing more than extraordinary. I just mean that from my heart. And the reason that this is working is, first of all, the approach that's being taken is a new organic approach to sales. And it's never been seen before. And then you add all of the, say, the a la carte parts that you need to make it work. I've been in sales most of my life. I was in an MLM for years, but there were problems, and they have found a way to overcome those problems. And it is extraordinary. Then you combine the power of the massive reach of internet, worldwide internet and what that could mean. So it's interesting. I just watch each week and see, what's happening and where it's going. And as far as Rivka goes, if you're this is a plug, everybody. If you are not dialing in to her podcast, you are truly missing something because you'll go away just feeling so much better. And she is a kind, gentle person with a beautiful personality, and she knows what she's talking about. And so I highly recommend you asking her to become part of the group that gets to enjoy what she does every week. And then you go to Alethea. Alethea is an extremely intelligent person, and she's dealing with young women, and trying to help them find a voice. And I work with people as far as helping them as far as their abilities to speak and other things. So it's a diverse group that is come together, and then on calls like this, we all have lists that we say, well, what would make Rivka better? What would make Papa better? Or what would make Nesto better? And we share those. And I feel the love of this call every week. This is, an amazing group. So I am very, very honored that they asked me to be a part of it. But also, I'm just waiting to see what's going to happen. This is gonna, we're on for an unbelievable ride.
We are. Thank you so much. And Papa, everybody, is a little humble here. He didn't want to say, he said he helps people with their speaking. He is invaluable. When
Yes.
we get stuck in any way, we have ideas, we're just not quite sure how to flesh out. We can always go to him, ask his opinion, have him read things over for us, just so that we know that we're getting the right point across in a nice way, a soft way, a caring way. So, as I said, everybody, Papa is invaluable to the collective, and I am so grateful that he is here. So, and now we have Alethea, who is
Hello.
incredibly instrumental also. Alethea has actually stepped up, although she has her very own company as well. Alethea does a lot of my posting, actually all of my posting for me. She has really, really helped immensely with everything behind the scenes with me and helping to grow the collective and bring more people in. So Alethea, why don't you talk a little bit about everything that you do for me and what you do in your own company?
Thank you very much. I sure will. So I am actually project manager of Rivka, and yes, I post your content on the different platforms: Facebook, in the group, and Instagram, and Threads, and Twitter, and also am taking over posting your podcasts on YouTube, SoundCloud. Um, and all those different platforms, soon Twitter and all that good stuff. So, yes, I've been very privileged to be able to take that on. I'm still in the process of doing a little bit more training with Marissa, but yeah, for the most part, I'm there, and I really love your message. I really love your focus and your calling, because I am part of a group, or your group, of survivors from traumatic relationships. And so I've had the privilege of being on one of your podcasts. I've actually have two. There's another one that will be coming out with you too. But I, as Papa said, my calling for Truly Consultants, which is my business. I want to be a mentor, a promoter of younger women who want to find their voices in this world, who have a calling, who have a passion, and to guide them and direct them into that direction. And public speaking has been something I've done for a long time, just as Papa. He's been doing it longer, of course, but public speaking is also one of my expertise. And so that's something that I also want to use to help younger women, or even women of my age, or older women, anyone who has a voice that needs to be heard, who has great ideas that need to be announced to the world. That's who I'm called to serve. But in working with you, I realized that working with survivors, helping survivors is another call that I have, a calling that I have, and that I want to pursue. So I'm very privileged to be able to do pretty much everything that I want to do. And again, in the future, it's only going to grow from here, because I have a lot of passions. I have a lot of people that I want to help. And so I'm just getting started.
Well, everybody here does an amazing job, great contributions. And I really, really wanted to do this podcast and introduce the collective to everybody out there, just so that people realize that it takes a village, right? It takes a whole group of people to help a bigger group of people. And you see 4 of us here, but it's just a drop in the bucket for how many people we've already helped and how many more people we are going to be helping. We have within this group, as you can see, each of us has our own companies, but we come together to help each other continue to grow, continue to thrive. And you may not see everybody every single day. You see me as the face. I am RivkaLeah. I am the face of the collective. But I want everybody to get to know who is helping me behind the scenes, because these individuals are very close to my heart. They are very instrumental in getting the message out so that I can help as many survivors as possible all across every area of trauma that there are. And Nesto was very modest. Everybody here has been very modest. Nesto does all of the technical details in the background that we might not necessarily see. And Marissa, with her brainstorming with me and, getting me out of my comfort zone a little bit and helping me build this brand to something much bigger that I wanted to do, but I just didn't see it quite as clearly in the beginning. And now it's just taking off and it's thriving. And Alethea stepping in and helping me with all of the posting. And it's just, there's so much to do and so many people to reach. And being able to contact Papa and ask him his opinion and getting pointers when I was so scared to start talking to people, and having all of the encouragement and love from everybody. So this is why I wanted everybody to meet the collective and get to know that all of these individuals have come through things, are on their journey, because it's my opinion that everybody is on a journey for their whole life. I don't personally believe that suddenly you're healed one day and it just ends. You are on a constant journey of learning and growing, and we're here to support each other and use all of the skills that we have gathered through our journeys and give them back to everybody. So does anybody else have anything they would like to share with our group?
I just look forward to seeing more and more of Rivka on camera, because we're pushing out, as she brought it up, so I can, a bigger comfort zone, as in distributing her knowledge on a larger scale. And so I'm really excited. Like, we were talking about this right before we turned the camera on, that look what we've accomplished in less than a year, and look what we will accomplish in another year and 2 and 3. And so it's motivating every single day to see growth and to see progress. And I'm just really grateful. And I will agree with you. Papa is way too humble.
Yes.
He is, as I said the last time we spoke, better than Tony Robbins, even though he won't say that.
Yes, he is.
Yes. And we're very privileged and honored to have him a part of the group too, because he is definitely not just a sounding board, but very moralistic in the way that we approach our businesses. And he's very good about the ethics of business. And we had spoke about this yesterday, that all of our businesses never compete. We all just help, and we all definitely support. But what's the word I'm looking for? Not just support, but complement. There you go. That's the word
Yes.
I'm looking for. That we all complement each other, and there is no competition. There never has been. There never will be, because we all need each other as the collective to make this work. And the thing, though, that we were talking about yesterday was part of the strength of this comes from the fact that this isn't corporate America. So that's why personalities and personal development is at the forefront of what we do together as a company, because that counts 10 million times more when you're building a company that's so boutique and so intimate, and it needs to help the right person. So that's why personalities matter, and us as a collective always improving ourselves and continuing our healing path is the most important part to make this work. And so we were talking about that yesterday, the ways that we want to actually increase that healing path for each person that comes in and works with us and works for us in the future, like with Leah having a little bit of a dual role and other people behind the scenes that have dual roles. We want that to be just as important for each person. So it's just truly a blessing, and it makes me excited every day to do this.
Yes, totally. Yes, very exciting.
And I just want to say too that Rivka, you had mentioned that Marissa pushed you past your comfort zone, and I've watched it from the beginning as well, with where you started and where you're at now. And I just want to say I'm truly proud of how you've crushed your comfort zone that you had when you started. And and sometimes you just need a little nudge from somebody else from the outside looking in, because Marissa and I talked from the beginning. We say we see something in Rivka that's it's great. It's greater than she even realizes. And from where you started to where you are now, it's 100 times better than it was. Yes,
bigger
and better.
Yeah.
And you're continuing to grow. You've got the support behind you here on this call, and so the sky's the limit for all of us. So we just got to keep going. We got to keep doing it. So good job. Keep going. And we got you.
Thank you. And Papa, I saw, did you want to say something else?
Well, I just wanted to mention that your podcast, as well as your weekly activities and your online presence, is touching a lot of different subjects. And if anybody is interested, Rivka has graciously allowed me to come on her podcast because I've had a long battle with multiple sclerosis. It started when I was 15. I'm almost 70 now. And I'd like to talk about it because I think there are other people out there. And I believe that's something that Rivka does very well. She takes a subject that needs to be talked about and not only explains it, but comforts people by the information that she gives. So I appreciate that. And if anybody has anybody, they might like to listen to the ins and outs as I unpack what happened with me.
Yes, thank you. Because I think people need to know that, when we hear the word trauma, trauma encompasses so much. And I would like people to understand that it's not just a specific trauma that I'm talking to. I am talking to everybody's trauma. And I am always looking for people who are willing to come on and discuss it and talk about their healing journey and where they're going. And now, everybody here has come through their healing journey, and we all have our own businesses. And yes, we are a collective and we are helping each other, and but we have our own businesses, but that is not necessarily everything that I am talking to people about. If you've had trauma and you're on your healing journey and you don't want to start a business, that's fine too. You just want to come into a community that is supportive and continue to work on your healing. That's what we're here for. It is not, we're not telling everybody that they need to start their own businesses, but just to come into a community that has come through so much, both by themselves and collectively. Come in for the support, come in for the healing, come in for the learning in the community of it all, come into our tribe and be part of our collective. So I want to thank everybody for coming and being with me here tonight, and let everybody know that you will, in fact, very soon see the podcast or hear the podcast between me and Papa on his journey. And also, if anyone is interested, RivkaLeah Collective is releasing our course From Darkness to Radiance. We also have a membership and we have our group. There are ebooks out there and available. So feel free to reach out to me, come into our group, come to the Facebook page, come to any of the social medias, look around, and all of the information will be out there and available to you. So again, thank you everybody for being here with me. I appreciate it. And I hope everybody has a fabulous night. So cheers, everybody.
Thank you.